Well, if you're embarking on such a project, you only have one pair of eyes, you only have one pair of feet. There's only so much art you can see in your own lifetime. At the same time, I dream, many other people dream, that there's a total narrative, a total story that will explain to us everything that humans have made to look at. The trouble is that to tell a total story, there needs to be a storyteller. There always needs to be a person who is telling the story. And that's the literary problem of writing such a history of art. I have tried to research as widely as I can and to express, to put down the contents of my researches in a truthful structure as I understand it. But at the same time, I want to emphasize that it is one pair of eyes, one voice that is talking to it. And that's why the book, talking to the reader, the book has a markedly personal tone. I'm always saying, this is how I feel for this piece of work, of art. And I want thereby to give a dialogue with the reader. I want to emphasize that this is always one pair of eyes, one voice that's speaking. And thereby I want to encourage the reader to think, I have one pair of eyes, I have one voice, I can make up my own story, I can disagree with the author, I may not see things the same way, I will not. So that is the kind of literary task I had in writing this book. Well, there's being intellectual and there's being intelligent, and they ought to be the same thing, but we all know they're not always the same thing. To be intelligent about art, the kind of art I care about, you need to have a sense of the physicality of art, you need to have a sense of what it is to make an object to look at. Now, if you were writing a history of conceptual art from Duchamp, maybe you could write a very good intellectual book without talking about any of those physical properties. But to write about art, as I do, you need to feel for it with your body, in some sense. You need, I think all the art writers I value, from Diderot, Baudelaire, down to Tim Clark, Peter Shedal in contemporary times, even if they don't write about the studio and about making things, they write with gestures, with a physicality to their work. And that is, that doesn't stop them from conceptualizing, dealing with the real intellectual complications of writing about art, because there are many. Well, yeah, I'm a painter first of all. For me, painting is more important than writing. And if I write, it's in the service of painting. It's a homage to painting. And if I, of course, if I write also, I try to bring to my text my empathy with other artists. I am not Michelangelo, I am not Luca Giordano, I am not a Paleolithic man chopping an axe, I am not a Japanese potter. But all of us have spent a lot of our working life looking at an object and thinking, how does that object need to look? How does it need to be? And so that is one quality that I try to bring to my work. And at the same time, my painting, if you were to look at my own work as an artist, you would see that it shares a lot of qualities with the book I've written. It is very much about looking at things in a wide view and trying to comprehend them. Panoramic perspectives are a speciality of my canvases. So it's better that someone else write about my art, describe my art, but that quality does go through both from writing and painting. As I see it, a museum should be something completely opposite to the kind of project I've been doing, and at the same time complementary to that project. It's my role, the lecturer's role, the writer's role, to take images from all over the world, to bring them together in a free combination to express some conception of art. It's the role of the museum, as I see it, to be a single physical place in the world where certain objects have come by accident of historical circumstance, and you have to go there to look at those objects. And I think it's very, very important to keep that distinction. You have to go to the Prado to see the greatest paintings in the world. I've just been having that pleasure. And you have to make a pilgrimage. You have to experience some discomfort even, maybe some expense. That all those qualities are important if art is to keep its feet in reality, I think. Well, I'm not against linearity, but there's such a thing as too simple linearity. Traditional art history is one beautiful straight highway line that goes from Altamira to the pyramids, to Athens, to Rome, to Florence, back to Rome, back to Paris, and then to New York, you know. And then into this line, in 1860, suddenly there comes another road coming in, Japan. Where did that come from? And then in 1905, 1907, another road comes in. Oh, there's Africa. Where's that come from? No, there are lots and lots of roads all over the world, and they keep interweaving. The history of Japan and of Europe keep interacting over many centuries, for instance. And so instead of the trouble, we get a more complex result. We get not just one line going straight down like that. We get lots of lines coming from here, where there's the start of the recorded history, and then they get more and more complicated, and they interweave, and they interweave, and they interweave, and they come back down to the present. Here, that's the kind of linearity that my book is about. It's fascinating, it's beautiful to research a book, to go around looking everywhere that you can. It is very nice to have written a book, to be at the end where you have said something that you believe is true about some art that you love. It is hell to sit there and write it. I don't like sitting on my backside, putting the words in front of one another. I just like the beginning and the end. That's the truth. But my first love is painting.